which is the Godfathers, and this is sort of a special event because we've got all 5 Godfathers in here. So maybe we should, like that, and maybe we should introduce yourselves, like starting off from over there.
All right, I'm Chris.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
I'm George.
I'm Peter.
And welcome to MTV Expo. I hope you enjoy this
Nice.
show. I think we should check out your first video, your new video here to start with, and then we'll come back afterwards and talk some more when people just know what kind of music you play, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's see it, because I said so. And that was the Godfathers with "Cause I Said So," and the Godfathers are with me. So what is "Cause I Said So" about?
It's about being yourself, really, and doing what you want to do, really, and just being young and just rocking, really.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Trying.
It's normally what a parent say to a kid or somebody authority says, well, don't do that, and they say why. And they always say, because I said so. So it's sort of like turning that sort of concept on its head, really, and sort of making it a little bit different.
2 of you has been in, before you were with the Godfathers, in Sid Presley Experience, a very sort of successful English underground band. Why did you decide to leave?
It wasn't a question of leaving, it was a question of we couldn't get along with the other 2 members in the group. So instead of just carrying on and fighting and arguing for ever and ever just because money was coming, we split it up, and it's as simple as that, really. And so we started the Godfathers up.
You started the Godfathers about 2 years ago, and you're on an own label called, what was the name of it? Corporate Image. Why did you start on your own label? Why not go to a major label?
So that we got more control, really. It meant that we were able to start out, make our own mistakes and do everything exactly the way we wanted to do, the music, the covers, everything. So we learnt a lot while we were doing it.
It's like growing, really. I mean, at the time when we first started, to be quite honest, nobody wanted to sign us up. And then we decided to make our music acceptable and palatable and fashionable, and so that people would want to sign it up. So after having done like 4 singles on our own label, Epic Records offered us huge amounts of money to sign with their label, so we did. Like even Elvis Presley started off an independent before he signed to RCA, really.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing, really.
Do you feel that you have that sort of control that you want it now with the CBS Epic Records?
No.
No.
Because like our new sleeve, we wanted to have a sort of like Andy Warhol sort of picture of Margaret Thatcher, but we put a Hitler moustache on her, and it was like a 60s like pop art type sleeve, and they totally refused to put the sleeve out. So in that sort of sense, we haven't got like control over sleeves and things like that. But it doesn't matter really. It's like sleeves. It's just, you know.
Yeah, but does it annoy you a lot?
Artists and old ladies and people who are unemployed and, you know, have got anything else to do apart from hang about art galleries, really. So it doesn't really bother us now.
Yeah. Right.
The thing is, the music is still the same. The music is as it would have been.
You got 100% control of the music.
Yeah, they haven't interfered at all in the music. Like that. I mean, it would have been nice to put that sleeve on, you know, the sleeve that we wanted, but really the important thing is that the music's as we want it.
And they haven't tried to create sort of an image around you, which they do with a lot of bands, as you probably can tell.
No, because we established ourselves anyway as a group, and that we established we could sell records, do tours, etc., and people had an idea of what, you know, we looked like anyway, and so really the record company couldn't shape us into some, you know.
So that's the advantage of starting on your own.
Yeah, you got your own stamp on things and your own individuality, really.
We sort of made a name for ourselves live as well, even before we got signed up to anything, really. Just known for being a really good live band and making good records.
All right.
It's fair enough.
We have to see a video and we'll come back and talk later. As well, yes, we still got the Godfathers in here and we're going to see their video, birth, school, work, death, very soon. First we're going to chat a little bit more. Now, very quick, I mean, like just a couple of months after or something, your second single went high in the charts, in the independent chart, after you formed the Godfathers. Was that expected and were you surprised by that?
No, it was always expected. We expected to go #1 with the first one, never mind the second one. You know, we expect to go as far as it can take it to the maximum, really. We're doing this because we think we've got sort of #1 type songs, really, and not top 100 and just sort of trailing halfway down the chart somewhere. We believe in our music and we want to take it as far as we can take it, really.
Is that why you named an LP Hit by Hit?
Yeah, it's a tongue-in-cheek little joke, really, yeah. And everyone's always calling us gangsters
optimistic.
and all that crap, so we might as well throw it back at them, really.
You released that one in the States. How did they receive it over there?
It's great, going great. That's why we got the record deal with CBS, really.
Yeah?
By Hit.
Got
So
really,
you've got
really good reviews everywhere,
Yeah.
all over the world. Yeah.
Good critics.
Mm.
And you also toured in the States. How was that?
Great.
Time.
Great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went really well. We did 8 weeks out there and we did the full circuit. We started on the East Coast, worked right round the top, down the other side. You know,
All the funny little bits in the
all the,
middle.
yeah, the squiggly little bits down the bottom, the hot bits.
What kind of an audience were you playing for there?
Oh, look, all sorts of, audiences really, really good, really up for it out in America. They're understanding music well, and everyone's dancing. It's a great audience, really.
Most of them, it was like because of the licensing laws in the States. A lot of the places we played were like over 21s, which is quite strange, really, because we've got a lot of people from like, say, 15 to 20 who'd love to come and see the Godfathers, but couldn't get in because of that. So we're doing our next tour of the States is going to be in conjunction with MTV, and they're filming a special on the Godfathers, and we're going to tour a load of colleges and places like that. So that's the next
people
one
actually
lined up.
buy records can come and see us instead of over 21. I mean, what a stupid law,
Because we'd be playing a place or do a radio interview and people would be phoning up and just saying I'm too young to get in and all that sort of bother.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair.
It's terrible,
ridiculous.
Was there in any other ways that you found the US audience different from the European?
They're very enthusiastic, really. Audiences are good audiences the same the world over, if they enjoy the music, which they always seem to, it's great.
I think they're a bit more fanatical out in America, really. They're a bit more, hey, that was great! Oh, rock and roll,
Love that
blah,
stuff.
blah, blah. That sort of stuff, really, just being American, really.
Americans always take it to the extreme, thank God.
Yeah, they're a bit different. We're going to check out your birth, school, work, death video. We've seen it before here on MTV because we liked it a lot. I did. So we check it out once more.
Checks in the post.
Watching Expo, and we still got Godfathers with us. Now, early on we were talking about you having success in the States. You've been very successful in Europe as well. You'd signed to CBS. Does that mean that you now make enough money to live on making music alone?
No.
Yeah, to live, yeah.
Yeah, you get by, really. It's a bit better than Social Security, I suppose. It's decent,
Yeah, we're
have to go-
professional rockers. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to sign on anymore. I think that's about it.
We haven't moved uptown yet or anything,
No.
We're still in the same old flats and whatever.
It's a bit of a myth signing. I used to believe that, once you sign to a record company,
With us. Now, early on we were talking about you having success in the States. You've been very successful in Europe as well. You'd signed to CBS. Does that mean that you now make enough money to live on making music alone?
no.
Yeah, to live, yeah.
Yeah, you get by, really. It's a bit better than Social Security, I suppose. It's decent,
Yeah, we're
have to go-
professional rockers. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to sign on anymore. I think that's about it.
We haven't moved uptown yet or anything,
No.
We're still in the same old flats and whatever.
It's a bit of a myth signing. I used to believe that, once you sign to a record company, your days are over, but they find ways of spending your money before you even got it, really. Hey, we want a remix here. Blah, blah, blah.
So
it
people always
goes.
think if they see somebody on TV or hear the records on the radio a lot, they must be
I
fabulously
used to
wealthy.
think that.
Yeah, but it's not like
true.
that
It's not
at all.
that at all,
Not
really.
And you don't go to all these famous parties and meet Whitney Houston
No.
every night
No,
around
I
the
don't invite
corner.
us. They never invite us to parties like that. I wonder why.
Anyway, in your lyrics, you have sort of a very critical way of describing society. Now, what is it, if you could change anything in the society, what is it that you would change?
Everything. It's just so unfair for people, isn't it? Especially in this country where we come from. It's just a horrible place to grow up. I mean, you imagine it if you say you're 15, what have you got to worry about? You've got to worry about AIDS, unemployment. You might be annihilated within the next 36 hours because, America's blown some, plane out the sky or something. It's just, everything is up in the air these days. There's nothing permanent about things today. It's all shifting, it's all changing. Must be really frightening, I think, if you're about 14 or 15 and you're
But
just thrown out into the world.
But don't you think a lot of people already are aware of their situation and the horrible state the world is in? Do you
No,
think
that's
they
why-
could change it by listening to music?
I don't think music really can change anything, really. I don't think it really can, really. I
But
think
does
it's like,
politics fit in with music?
I think politics
can
is
do.
always there. Even if you don't really write about politics, you can't help but be affected by politics because it's, even though you're not voting or anything or even not taking part in politics, some politician is deciding what to do with your hard-earned wages and shifting it away in taxes or whatever and deciding that you can't do this and you can't go drinking it, till you're 18 or you can't go to a club till you're 21 or you can't do this and you can't do that. You don't ask for it.
I
They
think
tell you
things
how
like
to do
Stock
it.
Aitken and Waterman are just as political as we are, even though they don't write necessarily songs about politics. I Could Be So Lucky and Fun, Love and Money. I mean, it's like exact opposite of what we're doing, but it's because it's the opposite of ours. It is taking up a contrary position, so that in itself is political, really. You know.
So you don't write the lyrics actually to change and give out a message. You just do it because you can't help
that's how we feel about it. And do you agree or disagree, or what do you think about it? That's the idea. Just throw it into the circle, really. You can't really, you know.
It's the realism of what we see around us, really.
It's like Charles Dickens probably didn't change that much poverty by writing about it in books like Oliver Twist, but I bet it made him feel a lot better by exposing that knowledge to people and just letting them say, what do you think of it? We don't like to be like patronising. Some groups are really patronising about their politics, whereas we rather just think that you can write about politics, but you should also write about other things as well.
Michael Jackson's song Man in the Mirror, really. I mean, that's one of the most political songs of the last year, I think. The video as well, you know.
Video was
just got to look in the mirror, and it's up to you to change, you know, really.
It's getting people to think for themselves.
Yeah.
It's not like we're telling them what to think, but we're saying this is what we
Be
see.
yourself. Enjoy your life. You're only young once.
Not everybody thinks about politics, though. We're going to see something like the Fat Boys. I don't think they're very concerned about politics. Guys, and we're talking about the exact opposite of paradise. We're talking about society today here with the Godfathers. Now, in your lyrics, you mention drugs very often. Do you think that drugs has an important role in the society that you criticise?
Yeah, I think they used a lot to control people, really. I mean, if you look at the anti-heroin campaign started by the Conservative government, more people are doing heroin because they've found out what it is now and what it does to you. You know, imagine some bored 15-year-old kid, oh, this is what it does to you. It makes you look really grotty looking and scruffy looking and just how you want to be when you're 15, really. This is great.
No, they give away free needles. They give away free hypodermics in this country. I mean, that I couldn't believe. All right, a problem on top of problem, but giving it away free to people.
But don't you think that's
Next
because
it'll be
to
illegal
prevent
if you don't
things
take drugs,
like AIDS, for
yeah.
instance, you get AIDS if you share needles, and that's why they're trying to prevent that by giving away free needles.
I'm very paranoid, but I think AIDS is a conspiracy as well, because it's like saying to people, oh, let's conform to the family role of just mum and dad and 2 kids and not have any other fun, because I think a lot of people realise how dangerous it was that a lot of people had such a good time in the 60s and they didn't want anything like that to happen in the 80s. So they invented some weirdo disease and spread it out all over the world.
That's right. It forces you
You
mad.
You believe that?
Yeah, I think it's some
believe it,
byproducts of germ warfare, really.
It's the best advert for the nuclear family that's ever been.
Right.
But it's not only attacking like homosexuals and junkies anymore. It's actually also attacking families and, and people's.
Yeah.
So
families who haven't remained, you know, like if you have one partner, you know.
no, there are also
presumably
sick
you're all right.
people like blood donors and stuff.
That's right, you can't help
That's
it,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, those people who would start a disease like that wouldn't care about people like that in any case.
No, they probably wouldn't. That's a weird theory. Anyway, back to your music. What is your music actually influenced by? What other bands do you listen to?
All sorts of music, really. We love all sorts of music, not just other bands, but classical music, jazz music, early rock and roll, anything, really. We love
Eddie
all sorts of
Cochran.
music.
Beatles.
Beatles, Sex Pistols, Yardbirds,
Everything.
Stooges, T-Rex,
Even the worst stuff.
Bros, Wet Wet Wet.
Yeah.
You like Bros?
No, I mean,
You go the other way. you
joke.
say.
you listen to it and think, oh, God, we don't want to sound like that.
That's right, you are influenced by
Bros.
Bros, whether you like them or not, because you think, what a horrible band.
So you try to be opposite.
Yeah, because they make sort of like nice videos where they make out they're nice guys in the video, but they're probably really horrible people. But we make horrible videos, but we're really nice people. So it's sort of like another sort of thing.
We're
really.
honest, yeah.
Anyways, you've already toured in the States and you toured in Europe as well. I've heard you toured in Scandinavia, and are you going to tour more here in Europe?
We got some festivals coming up in August. We got 2 in Austria, 2 in Switzerland.
Belgium.
We've got the Reading Festival to do in England, a couple in Belgium. Just odd festivals all over Europe, really.
And a new LP on its way?
Yeah, we're writing it at the moment.
Yeah, that's what we're
working
doing
on it
today.
now.
We'll record that at the end of the year, I think, and then it'll probably be out at the beginning of next year. Because we've been touring so hard on this one, we've hardly had
More
chance to
songs
think
about love and hate.
So,
All right.
and paranoia.
Well, I'll look forward to that, and I'll thank you very much for joining me today. And
Cheers.
Expo, it's been
Okay.
nice
Thank you.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Got different points of view.